I'm just gonna click on record right now, and then we're just going to
Yeah,
start the
let's just see what
interview.
happens. Yeah,
Alright, so I'm just gonna do a quick introduction, then we're gonna ask some questions, and then you're gonna answer them.
sure. Let's go.
Alright, welcome everyone. This is another interview for Streamterra. I am King, also known as Nakip, and I am joined today by the one and only Tao Tao, the
Yeah.
Genshin master, as I like to call him myself, the
Oh,
Genshin
too
god.
kind, too kind.
But yeah, go on. Tell us about yourself. Who are you?
My name's I don't mind saying the shortened version of my name. My name's Ovi. I stream on Twitch. I try to stream as much as possible, but with my schedule, with work, and then going to the gym, and then spending time with my long distance girlfriend, it becomes a bit more of a hassle. But other than that, I go by Tao Tao underscore on Twitch because they wouldn't let me to choose any other Tao Tao variant. Um, Fun fact about my name, it's a name that I had given to a teddy bear when I was a child. Well, a teddy bear, it was more like a panda, and it comes from an actual anime, a very old anime. And I like to play the video game, yes.
Nice.
Other than that, I don't really know what else I
Yeah,
should say. So,
do you remember which anime it was for the panda bear?
ooh, I don't actually, but I could Google it if you want me to. It's
It's fine. It's mainly for the thing. Actually, I'm going to just have like a pop-up somewhere around the screen. I'm gonna put it on YouTube
yeah.
after googling. Um,
Okay, cool.
but yeah, you joined Streamterra mainly because you know me, and we go back like 2020 or something, like around
Maybe even
quarantine.
earlier, 2019, maybe.
No, 2020 because Genshin Impact just came out, and
All right.
then we met through Vatre, and you were like the one person that spent like the most money out of all of us. So you were like
Yeah.
the one person that everybody had to remember because you like spent 500 euros, another 500 euros, another 500 euros, and it just kept
Listen.
going.
It's not an addiction if I can control it somewhat. Um,
Or if you're rich enough
but
for
yeah,
it.
well, if you make enough money for it, yeah,
True.
it's a hobby. How other people, choose to use their money on going out or clothes and stuff like that. I just buy $3 t-shirts in bulk, and then yeah, and I spend most like what I can on gachas in general. But I've stopped. Genshin is my last one. And me and you instantly clicked because we have one thing in common, and that is loving Dragon Ball Abridged.
Oh no, I knew you'd say that in the
Yeah, in the
future.
future, exactly.
Yeah, there was like this thing, like this moment in time where I was always just saying, "Oh no, I knew you do that," and just
Yeah.
randomly, and everybody would be like, "What the fuck's that voice?" But then, except for this one guy, and that was Tao Tao, and he instantly was like, "I can see the future." I was like, "Wait, he knows this. We're gonna
He
become
knows.
best friends,"
Yes,
and that's basically where the click came from, and we just
exactly.
it just worked.
It just did.
All right, so we talked about Genshin, but
Yeah.
what did you start streaming? And when did you start streaming, actually?
Ooh, I started streaming. I don't remember if it was 3 years ago. I remember it specifically because it was the very last day before I went to Indonesia for the first time to meet my girlfriend. And it was a pretty wonderful experience because I used to stream Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross, the Japanese version, and I already was a pretty established player in the community, and I had like 30 viewers on my first stream, which is an insane amount of people to have for your actual first stream, right?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then I couldn't wait. That was about 3 years ago, if I remember correctly, maybe four, but I can't know the exact date. But that's pretty much all I streamed. I have tried to stream other games like Overwatch because I really enjoy playing the game, but I don't have a good enough computer to do it. And if anybody's gonna say instead of spending money on Genshin, you should have spent on a better computer, leave me alone. I will get there eventually. But yeah, Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross was the very first game I've streamed about 3 years ago, and then I tried a couple of other things, and like I tried Overwatch, but my PC wasn't good enough, and then after a couple more attempts on some things, they never actually made it to live. I just was sitting to press start streaming button, and I just never made it. And then Genshin came out, and people were like, "Yo, are you gonna play this game?" And then people from the gacha community, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And then ultimately I started streaming it because I enjoyed it. And yeah, it's although people talk badly about it, it's still a pretty fun game to play. And it's only been out for 1 year and a few months now, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, honestly, personally, I think Genshin is one of my most favorite games to just play solo because you can just do whatever you want and nobody's gonna
Yeah,
bother you like you're doing this wrong. Well, there are people who do that, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter because they're not gonna be the one to influence your gameplay.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Because you can play whatever you want. The game is not meta defined. You can literally take the quote unquote worst character you want, and then you can still do your thing with it, and it's fun. It's nice. I really like that aspect about the game.
like in Clear Spiral Abyss with Ember.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, you can actually do it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, unironically.
That's another topic to discuss the next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when did you start gaming in general?
Ooh, that's a very funny, not a very funny, but it's a very interesting question. So when I was a kid, I used to play this game on a very off-brand console, and it was used to be a tank game, where you're a tank, and then you have to build like walls around it. I don't remember the name of the game anymore, but like that brings back so many memories. So basically, you build like a base, and then the tanks come in, and then you have to kind of like destroy them, and it was insane. So that was probably when I was like what 6 years old. But when I started to seriously play video games was when I moved to England. I was 15 years old. I played this MMORPG called Poke Saints, and I used to play on 30 accounts at the same time on two laptops.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. And then after that, I bought myself a computer and I started playing. The very first game I played was Overwatch, and then I played some Warframe. And so I would say the first time I started gaming for real was at 15. So that's about what 7 years ago. So
Wait,
yeah,
you're 22?
7 years ago. Wait, no, I'm retarded. No, I'm 35.
Okay.
10 years ago. Sorry,
10 years
2012.
ago.
My bad.
Time goes way too fast anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first game that I played was also around 6 years old. My brother and sister, they were playing this game called Rayman Adventures on the
Yeah.
PlayStation 1. And I saw them playing it, and I was really terrible at the game because I was like, my hands were smaller than the controller itself. So
Yeah.
it was fun. And then I think that's when I got introduced into gaming, but my parents were kind of against it, but at the same time, they weren't like strict about it.
Yeah.
And then when I got my first laptop, I was like, I have a pretty good laptop right now. What games can I play on it? So I started Googling, and then I found League of Legends. And someone I already knew, and some other people in class, they already played it. So I was like, let's give it a
Mhm.
try. And then I've been literally addicted to League of Legends ever since.
Understandable. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you have a love-hate relationship with the game, but me and Overwatch are in a terrible toxic relationship. I really should get out of it. But
It really
it's fine.
depends. If they touch my champions, I hate them. But if
Yeah.
they just let them be the way they are, and I can actually consistently play the same way, I'm completely fine with it. But yeah, that's
I get it.
basically. I've pretty much had the same kind of relationship with gaming, I guess. Just very
Yeah.
different games, but still the same way.
Yeah.
So you started gaming and you got into streaming. What was the
Mhm.
motivation for you to be like, I'm gonna stream that I'm playing right now?
Okay. I like playing the video games, but it gets boring to play the video games on your own. Also, another thing, I'm not gonna throw names out there, but there were some content creators that were, as I said, I was an established member of the community of the game that I started streaming, which was Seven Deadly Sins, and there was a lot of misinformation just going out through the mouth of other streamers that just got lucky and then they got the views and people were believing them and such thing and stuff like that. So like that annoyed me a lot. So I combined the fact that I could play the video game while have an audience with the chance to spread out like actual good information and true information and nothing that was fake or like trying to jeopardize the other players let's say roster, let's call it that. So like it was very nice to have that sort of power where you know that if somebody's going to come to your stream and they're going to ask a question that they've seen in this other person's stream or this other person's YouTube, you can actually correct if needed. I'm not saying that what I knew was absolute, that there were obviously times when I was wrong, but it was very good to know that you're doing your best to spread out good information about the game while you have an audience to talk to, because it can get very lonely to play a gacha game. It's really not like unlike Genshin, because Genshin is very like heavy on mechanics and stuff like that. But a game like Seven Deadly Sins, it would get really boring. You would just have to do the same thing for 12 to 24 hours in a row, depending on your luck.
Yeah, and at some point you just want to share your experience, but also just
Yeah,
things that you encountered to share it with other people, see how they feel about it, or just for the sake of sharing it, basically.
yeah, exactly.
So that's how you got into streaming. And
Hmm.
what would you say was your best experience in streaming, and also what was the worst moments that you've experienced while you were streaming?
The worst moment, without a doubt, is that moment when you launch up your stream and then you're gonna say that's gonna be a good, this is gonna be a good day, and then I'm gonna have a lot of fun, and then when the time comes, just nobody's there because it's shattering to just launch up the stream and think that at least one or two people are gonna be there, and then for hours upon hours nobody's gonna be there. You shouldn't expect anybody to be there, but it's still disappointing, and it just kind of shatters you a little bit on the inside when just nobody shows up, and then there's nobody to talk to, and then you just talk to yourself, and it just feels really lonely. But other than that, I guess that would be the worst moment, and
Mm.
which is obviously it happens to everyone, and it's a pretty generic one. But one of my best moments was I had this one stream. It wasn't like a really good stream in particular. It was just these two people that showed up in my stream from a different person's stream, and then they were asking me about how to build said unit. And I was able to explain to them. It was actually about Genshin and about Bennett in particular. I was able to put it in a few words, and they understood it much better, and they actually thanked me because it made far more sense than a 10-minute video on YouTube and stuff like that. And to me, that's just a great feeling that I feel nothing can really top that. People, like, I mean, somebody might say, "Oh, when you got a donation." Not really. I don't do the streaming thing for the money. I don't have a schedule consistent enough to expect people to subscribe to me, to donate me money. I don't endorse that. I don't really want it that much.
Yeah,
Like, if it
personally,
happens, it happens. But
I feel like when you have like this donation and the subscription goal, it's mainly that you have this goal of a place that you want to reach, where you feel
yeah,
like I'm doing something good and people are invested in this, so I am
yeah,
improving. And seeing like a subscription bar, it's like obviously you're gonna get a bit of money out of it, but just seeing
yeah,
that bar go from 0 to 100 at some points, I think that's more satisfying than the actual thing that you will get as revenue out of it.
yeah.
And
Exactly. It's
I'm
the sense of achievement. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And I think that's like the best part about having like the entire subscription thing. Aside from
yeah.
also like the emotes and the ad-free watching and just like the
Of
support.
course, and all of that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's like the goals. And yeah, those were your best and the worst moments. I
yeah.
do enjoy. I do think streams where the streamer is actually able to speak to the audience is more enjoyable than like having like the chats just spamming each other like most of the big
Yeah, yeah,
streamers have it.
definitely. I mean, it's not their fault that they got so big and stuff like that, but like trying to engage with your chat and the people there as much as possible is good because it makes them also feel like, they're getting something out of being in your stream other than just potentially information. Let's just say they don't get information. At least they get somebody to talk to.
Yeah, true.
'Cause-
So
yeah.
those are like the goals on Twitch, but what are your goals specifically for streaming? Like where do you want to be? Where are you right now? What's your focus right now and so on?
So what I want to do on Twitch is basically there's a lot of stuff going on in my life that I won't get too much into it. But essentially, there's an end goal in my life that where I'm gonna settle down and all of that stuff, and that thing is in process right now. So it's gonna take a little bit of time and money and dedication. So once that is done, what I plan to do is get a computer good enough and be able to stream. I don't care how good I am at the game. I just want to stream the game that I really enjoy in the moment. And currently, that game is Overwatch. So as soon as I have the possibility to upgrade my computer, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna just be streaming and streaming and streaming, and hopefully one day I will, have an audience to a rather well a larger audience to stream to.
Yeah, is there like a specific number that you're thinking like if I have reached
No,
this number?
no, there isn't a number. Just the number it has nothing. It could be 5 people as long as those 5 people are engaged in the conversations and be able to talk to. Like it's pretty not annoying, but like I said before, shattering when there's nobody there to talk to. But it's also slightly disappointing when there's sometimes because you can't really hide the icon of how many people are watching. So sometimes you see there's 10 people watching, but nobody's engaging in nobody's asking any questions, or nobody, like, I'm not saying anybody should, but to me it would be pretty nice if you could have a conversation with your chat, or they have questions they ask and you answer and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
So it
that
doesn't.
out there right now. Anyone who watches the stream, just at least say hi, say something in the chats. We're going to like insult you back or something, but no, I'm not gonna do that. But
Nobody's gonna. Well, there are some people that will insult back, but the thing
true.
is, as soon as you say hi, somebody's gonna know that you are there, and they will talk to you, even if you're a lurker, right? You just want to lurk. You don't want to bother. You don't want to type. You don't want to do anything. But at least if you say hi, let's say you say hello in a chat, and somebody's doing something, they will. I promise you, if they know you're there, they will give you a much more in-depth explanation of what they are doing, just because they know somebody is actually watching, and Um, they will try to make that viewing experience pleasant for you. Even if it's just one person, trust me, that will happen.
Yeah, I do think it's a lot more enjoyable to just stream when, even if it's just one person, but that person's like actively speaking to you.
Yeah,
That beats the feeling of having like 100 streamers and not even being able to speak to even a single one of them.
exactly. Like my number doesn't have to be high. You asked me for a specific number. Let's just say 50. 50 people, out of which 20 are regular chatters. That would be amazing. It would just make any streamer's day, to be fair.
Yeah, I do agree. And so, is your goal to become a partner on Twitch eventually? Or
Eventually, I mean, uh, if so, I would love to, but that's not up to me. Well, to some extent it is, because it depends on how much I stream and stuff like that. So to some extent it is up to me, but generally it's not. It's more like a RNG type of thing where you might get lucky or you might not get lucky. So there are things you can do to increase the chances of you getting lucky and getting enough stable views to actually become a partner, but that's also kind of luck based. So ultimately, yes, I would love to become a partner.
nice. Yeah, so for streaming, everyone basically has their own goal, but I do know that once you become a partner, you have like so many new roles that you can unlock.
Hmm.
Sponsors that approach you, people who come for you with deals to do, like be part of their team, people who can make their own teams and
Yep.
have like
Yep.
other
Yep. Yep.
people to help them out. So I do think like having from most streamers, whenever they start streaming, aiming for the partner goal is probably one of the best goals to go for, because once you are there on that level, a whole world just opens up, which most people don't
A
even
whole
know
more.
about
Yep.
yet.
Yep. A lot more possibilities just open up for you.
Yes.
Pardon.
So let's say you are a partner one day. What's the first thing you're gonna
Yeah.
do? How are you gonna celebrate it?
Oh,
A
probably
hundred,
just.
100 wishes on Genshin.
um, I'm not sure if 100. I think I would cosplay as Diluc with a 3D
You
printed
heard it
wolf
here,
gravestone sword.
guys. It's on the stream. It's on the YouTube video. If
I
Tauta
would.
reaches partner, he is gonna cosplay as Diluc.
With the wig and I would commission somebody to 3D print me a wolf gravestone, like a real life size
Oh hell
one,
yeah!
and then yeah,
Or
and
what was the
the
name
whole
of that
shtick.
YouTube channel again that makes like the real swords out of them? They made like a wolf's gravestone. Uh,
Oh,
Man at Arms or something, right?
there is Man at Arms, but there is also one of I don't I can't remember the name exactly, but there is this one dude that makes swords from animes and games, and he makes them all from alone and from massive chunks of metal, and they are really big. I don't remember the name, but like if I can Google it later and send you a picture. I think it was Michael Cthulhu. Actually, that might actually be
It
it.
will
Michael
show up
Cthulhu.
somewhere on the screen
Yeah.
in the video. So yeah, you should just contact one of them and be like, "Yo, can I borrow one of your swords? I'm gonna shout out your channel." Because at that point you'll be big enough for them, right?
I mean, not sure if big enough for them, but yeah. Also, I don't think I could lift it. It doesn't matter how long you go to the
True.
gym for. I don't think I could lift a full metal wolf gravestone.
That's very true. So
Yeah.
you better go on and do the push-ups already.
Yeah. I will do my best. I'll eat my veggies.
Yes. Speaking of veggies, aside from streaming and gaming, you do something very special, and I know what you do very special. But do you want to talk about that?
You mean my job?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's perfectly fine to talk about that. Yeah, I'm a chef. I went to culinary school. I graduated. As a matter of fact, I was really good at cooking. I was really bad in theory, though. Like taking actual tests on paper, not my jam. I remember that I passed because they told me you need 95% attendance to actually pass the year, and I passed with 45.
Oh,
Did, at some point, they called me Lucifer because I would just disappear for 2 weeks at a time and then come back whenever I felt like it.
That's fair
But
enough.
other than I've been working as a chef besides college for about 10 years, coming on to 11 years now. And I like to think that I'm really good at what I do. So if you have any questions about that, then go ahead.
Yeah, I've seen all the pictures you've been sharing on the food channels. Thank God Mish has a food channel because you're like the one that's blessing it every single time there's a post coming from you, and you see like the chat and everyone's like just drooling about all the
Thanks.
food.
I
But it's
I appreciate
so
that.
amazing. I remember this one time like last year I told you like if I'm going to like to the area where you live, obviously I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say it on stream, but
Yeah.
once I would be there, I would be like, you need to cook for me. I'm gonna bring you all the ingredients and just cook for me, and I'm just gonna make sure that it's gonna be the best meal I've had in my life.
If you let me know when you come, I can buy the ingredients because there are some ingredients that take a little bit of time to prepare, such as a steak. I will not eat a steak that is not cooked either sous vide or dry brine. Either of those things makes that steak. It gets it from a 10 out of 10 to a 20 out of 10. Like it's such an easy thing to do, and it just elevates the flavor, the texture, and everything of the steak to a completely new level.
And that's something that I need to experience. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna force Mish to come with us because she has been drooling enough on the server, I would say, watching through all the food. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna drag her along, and then we're gonna have a 5-star
It'd be
menu.
pretty nice to meet you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be super fun. So, when did you find out that you enjoy cooking, or was it just something that you felt like I'm good at this and that's why I'm gonna do it?
It was a mixture of thinking that I like it when I was a kid because I would see my grandma cook, and so it was just like a mixture of that, and then it's a thing that runs in the family. So both my uncles are chefs, and then I was like, why not give it a shot? And then because also it's a very future-proof job. That was also that part also that definitely played a part into why I want to become a chef because it's just something you're always going to be able to cook if you're good enough, and you're always going to be in like people are always going to want to eat food because people can't live without food. So
I can confirm.
uh, it, yeah, so it was more of a mixture of future proof job, um something I was interested in, and something that was also running in the family more or less. So it was kind of a mixture of those three, and then I just fell in love with it. There's like something magical about, even it doesn't matter how busy it is a word, there's just something magical about knowing that you made that and somebody ate that and somebody enjoyed that enough to come to the window or talk to you in private and say, I really like that. There is just something magical about it. I don't know how to put it into words. It's just you'd have to experience it.
Yeah, from all the food that I've seen so far, that's there's a lot of different things that you make. Like some people are like specialized in this thing or that thing, but from you, I've seen like at least 100 different things. I'm like thinking, why
Yeah.
do every single thing look so juicy, amazing, and everything?
Partly there is a recipe, right? So there
Yeah,
is, but okay. So the way kitchen works is there is the larder, which generally has starters and cold stuff and salads, and then there's the hot section, which has the sauces and the meat and all of that. They are named different things throughout the world. Like you can have the grill and all of that stuff, right? So, but that would be the hot stuff, and then there would be the pastry. But all of those things, besides pastry, so the recipes you have are more or less as guidelines. You want to follow the steps, but the ingredients usually, if you follow it to a T, it's gonna come out good. But then that's where chefs start to differentiate from cooks because they add their personal stuff into it. Like, um, I really love one of my secret ingredients. Well, it's not a secret ingredient. I love mustard. I really like. It's gonna sound very weird and very foul to some people, but I really like to add a little bit of mustard to my fried rice. It gives that really nice mustard flavor to it. Not too overpowering, but it just makes it different, and I really like it. And it's just, yeah, basically just personalizing a dish. And then on pastry side, you cannot. You can't do that. So even though I can do pastry, you have to follow the recipe to a T because if you mess up even a little bit, it's just not gonna come out right. So that's also why I choose to work more towards the savory side of working in the kitchen, of being a chef, rather than the pastry side.
yes. And do you have like a goal that you want to? Do you want to like open a restaurant one day? Do you feel like doing something else?
I have not set on it yet, but I've noticed. Ultimately, I think I'm gonna end up living in Indonesia. rather than England. So what I was thinking to do maybe would be like a steakhouse, but I'm not sure how big that would be in Indonesia. So I would ultimately, yes, I want to open up my own place, and it would be really nice to be able to cook like Western, but with a slight Asian twist to cater to the locals as well when I move over there. But it would be really nice to have like a steakhouse. That would be amazing.
Yes,
Because
that's
the
gonna give me a goal to go to Indonesia one day.
yeah, I mean, you should go anyways. It's an amazing place.
Yes. Um, anything else about the being a chef that you want to add?
Um, if you think so if you go and eat some food, right? I don't know how to cook. If you go and look it up on Google, I promise you, it is nowhere near as difficult as some people make it look like, and it is nowhere near as difficult as you think it is. There's nothing that makes me more sad than see people. So this is a true story. I was at work and this I will not name her, but there was this girl that she wanted a stuff meal, right? So I was like, no problem. What would you like? I would like some avocado on toast. Now, for people that don't know, avocado on toast is basically slice of toast, avocado with chili and whatever you want to add to it. I added some chili, some coriander, also known as cilantro, and some lime juice, a bit of salt, and a bit of pepper, and a poached egg on top. She wanted a poached egg, so she said, I've been to 3 places and like nobody was serving avocado on toast. Like, why didn't you just make it yourself? It's so easy to make. I didn't say it in a condescending tone either. She's like, I just don't know how. And I asked her to come in the kitchen because it was a quiet time. She came in the kitchen, washed her hands, put an apron on, all the safety stuff, and then I made her make her own thingy. And then she saw how easy it was, and after that, she's told me she's never actually spent money on avocado on toast because she can just buy her own avocado. She can buy her own bread and she can buy her own eggs and just poach them. And it's so much cheaper. And it's just, it's if you want to learn how, if you really like some food, make it yourself. There is nothing wrong about that. There is nothing wrong to get it wrong a few times. And that is just an experience that, and you're going to learn, and then you're going to make your own food, and then you're going to go to your friends, and then you're going to, dazzle them with your own food. And it's just going to feel amazing.
Share it on Discord on the food channel. For
Yeah, just Google everything.
yeah,
Well, within reason. About cooking, Google is fine.
it's pretty cool
Just don't
that you.
Google about.
It's pretty cool that you allowed her to go to the kitchen. That's like one of the things that most restaurants aren't really wanting to do. Stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a really high end kitchen, but it doesn't matter. The precautions are still there. The cleaning, and then all of that health and safety stuff. It's still in place. But sometimes, why not? As long as they obviously respect the code of conduct, and then they put their hairnets on, and then they wash their hands, and then they wear the chef's whites, and then they wear the apron. Because we had a spare, we always have a clean spare in our kitchen anyway for when an inspector comes. So like she just used that, and then I put up another one. So it's cool.
Nice.
But yeah,
Yes, giving an insight on how it looks like to be a chef, but also a gamer at the same time.
yeah,
Uh,
it's yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that was actually everything that I want to cover in this interview. And is there anything that you want to shout out?
Not really anybody that I want to shout out except Streamterra. Just why not? Just join it. There's just a bunch of cool people, trying to make it in the world, make something out of it. Um, Again about cooking. Today I went today out to buy. I showed you the pictures. I bought 6 steaks. Right now, it was an offer, but for 2 of those steaks, I paid £3.5. So that would be like what, $5? For €4.50 or something like that. Anyway, and then I bought 6 of those. Right, I paid for that $10.50. To go to eat at a restaurant, you would pay 18 for one steak and the fries and all of that. Now, I'm not saying this to ruin other people's businesses and stuff like that. If you really like that and you have it cooked for you, go for it. But if you genuinely struggle with money, look it up and buy your own ingredients and make your own food. I promise you there will be nothing more satisfying than knowing that you've made that, and that you've made that taste really good, and that you've made it at the cost of perhaps a fifth of what you would have paid at a restaurant. If, like for college students and stuff like that. And if you have any questions, just come to, twitch.tv/taotao_, and, ask
Link
me.
will be in the description below. And yeah, from cooking for myself, it's like I always watch these videos on YouTube, like Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay screaming where the lamb sauce is. Have you ever
Where
worked with
is the
lamb sauce?
lamb sauce?
Have you ever worked with lamb sauce?
Yes. Yes, I
Nice.
have worked with lamb
Did you
sauce,
find
and
it?
yes, I have found it, and yes, it is a very commonly run joke. Where is the lamb sauce? Or this is raw. We always quote Gordon Ramsay kitchen nightmare stuffs in the
Idiot
kitchen.
sandwiches everywhere.
But basically, yes. Feel free to DM me if you need tips about what to cook and how to cook and stuff like that. Like that's why I'm here. I'm here to help people. Hopefully, that's the
Yeah,
idea.
the idea that I'm getting in my head right now is that we're gonna have taotao.com. Then when you go there, you're gonna have a part for your streaming, part for your cooking, part for your just
Yeah.
traveling and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna make sure that that happens.
Thanks.
All right. So yeah, as you heard, twitch.tv/taotao
Taotao_. Yeah.
and that's his stream. Are you available on any other social media?
I do have a TikTok where people can. I have a Twitter, but I never use it. I have Facebook, but I never use it. I have Discord. That's not exactly social media. But I do have a TikTok, which is Taotao_ on Twitch. That's the whole name of it, and you can't miss it because it's the profile picture is a picture of Dilo with ponytails. You're not gonna be able to miss that. Like you can reach me if you can. You can, if you want, you can add even my Discord tag. I don't mind replying to anybody anywhere. If you message me, I will not ignore it. It doesn't matter how many people message me. I will, I will do everything I can to make sure that I reply to everybody, because it's very important to make sure that people aren't, ignored.
Nice. So yeah, that was Taotao. I am Pentaking. I'm available everywhere as well. Pentaking TV. Just Google it. You'll find me. Even if you aren't looking for me, you'll probably find me anyway. Most likely under your beds. But anyway, that was the interview.
He's not under my bed yet.
Yet. Just wait until the stream is over.
Damn.
Alright, thank you all for watching. This was the interview with Taotao_ on Twitch, and
Thanks for having me.
we are going to continue this the next time.
Be
For the final words, what are you going to eat
tonight?
Yes.
I made some really nice steak carbonara because I do not eat pork. And as soon as we end this call, I'm gonna go to the fridge, take the steaks out of the pack, and put some salt on them, and leave them in the fridge and cover for at least 6 hours. And I'm gonna take 2 to my friend's house tomorrow and cook them for both of us. And one last piece of advice: even if you haven't watched Dragon Ball, you should still watch Dragon Ball Abridged by
I need
Team
to do
Force.
that in the future.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna go find the lamb sauce. Thank you all for watching, and good night.